Hey, how's it going, guys? I am Jake from TodaysiPhone.com, and here's the big news this week. Alright, now the first thing I want to tell you about today is iCloud. Now, if you're registered as a developer with Apple, you can now start moving over all of your stuff from MobileMe to your iCloud account. But keep in mind that before you go ahead and make the transition, there are a couple things that you have to do first. You have to confirm that all of your iOS devices are running iOS 5 Beta 5. You need to be running the latest version of OS X Lion, which is 10.7.2. You have to have iCloud for OS X Lion Beta 6, or if you're on a Windows machine, iCloud Control Panel Beta 4. But once you have all that done, you can head over to me.com/move and transfer your mail, contacts, and calendar over to iCloud. Now you can keep Gallery, iDisk, and iWeb until the end of June 2012. So once again, head over to me.com/move and start making the transition. And after you've played around with it for a little while, or maybe you've already been using it, either way, come back and leave a comment below in this video. We'd love to know what you guys think of the new iCloud service and how it compares to the old MobileMe and, you know, all that fun stuff. Alright, moving on, there are a couple cool stories about iOS 5 this week. First, if you're registered as a developer with Apple, you'll know that iOS 5 Beta 5 is now available to download and install to your iPad, iPhone, or iPod Touch. So definitely head over to the Dev Center and check this out. One weird thing I noticed is that when upgrading from Beta 3 to Beta 4, it was the first time that you could use over-the-air updates, which means that you didn't have to download anything to your computer or plug your device in. You could update the device right there on the device. And, you know, I thought this was going to be a standard thing from Beta 4 onwards, but it seems, for me at least, that Apple has once again disabled over-the-air updates. I can't do it on my iPhone 4 or iPad 2. I have seen a couple comments and responses saying that people have been able to over-the-air update to Beta 5, but on the whole, I think that people are having trouble with it, so that's pretty strange. If you have been able to update over-the-air, I'd love to know how your experience was and, you know, how you did it. I'm still waiting to upgrade to Beta 5, but as soon as I do, I'll definitely let you guys know how it is. I'm pretty happy that Beta 5 is out now because it's just one more step closer to the final release of iOS 5. And what with some applications that are iOS 5 compatible being accepted into the App Store and Beta 5 coming out, it definitely seems like we won't have to wait too long for iOS 5 to come out for everybody. Wow, I've been saying the number 5 a lot today. Yes, so if you aren't a developer and you're waiting for iOS 5, shouldn't be too long now. I'd say sometime in early September when the iPhone 5 comes out. 5! So many 5s! Speaking of iOS 5, it appears that this week 9to5Mac got their hands on a very interesting screenshot. Now the picture in question shows a create new text message screen on an iPhone, but the interesting thing about it is that down at the bottom next to the spacebar, there's a little microphone icon that is supposedly for speech to text. Now there have been rumors floating around for about a year now that says that Apple will bring speech-to-text functionality to the iPhone after they bought Nuance, a company that specializes in speech recognition. And if this screenshot is to be taken seriously, then iOS 5 should bring this feature to our devices. Now from my point of view, the picture does look legit, and I'd say that this isn't really a totally crazy out there rumor. I wouldn't be surprised if Apple actually did bring us speech-to-text. The only thing is that it is just a picture, there's no video, and it's pretty easily photoshopped, so take this with a grain of salt. But Cam said in the article, and I agree with him, that we will probably see this feature on an iPhone very soon. Alright, next we have yet another leaked iPhone 5 picture, but this one's a little bit different than what we've had in the past. Okay, so this week, this picture of a supposed iPhone 5 Slim appeared on the Mac Rumors forums. Now the picture actually first appeared on Twitter the day before, but was reposted on Mac Rumors by a guy who goes by Goigsh. I'll put the name down there. Now the device in the picture looks thinner than the iPhone 4, but other than that it's basically identical. It has the same flawed antenna system, the same size screen, and you know, the same home button. So basically all of the rumors about the iPhone 5 that we've come to accept as probably maybe true don't really apply to this picture. Now the guy with the unpronounceable name said that this phone made his iPhone 4 feel sluggish, which implies that this could have an A5 processor in it, but the lack of any other real changes led people to believe that this maybe didn't have any upgraded RAM or anything, and was just a 4S instead of a 5. And this picture did cause quite a stir on the internet for a while. until Gizmodo got involved. Now, they did a little digging and found the original tweet that appeared the day before this picture went viral on Mac Rumors, and they found that the original picture came with a caption in French that this Goich character conveniently forgot to add into his post. Now, trust me, you don't want me to attempt to read the French, but the translation reads, "A picture like this could drive some sites crazy." So the thing that really sets this iPhone 5 leaked picture apart from the other ones is that, well, most of them are probably fake. This one came with a caption assuring us that it was fake. And to cap it all off, just to prove how absurdly easy this type of picture is to fake, Gizmodo made a mock-up of the iPhone 5 Slim, and it looks better than the original picture. Oh, internet, when will you learn? Alright, and finally, I want to tell you guys about a new article that I'm going to be doing on Saturdays. Generally speaking, news is slower on the weekends, so I was trying to think of some interesting things to show you guys until Monday, and I came up with something called Social Saturday. Now, I got this idea because a few weeks ago I got a really cool Twitter question that I did not have the capacity to answer in 140 characters or less, so I wrote an article on it. The stuff that we post on Today's iPhone is for your enjoyment and to keep you more updated with what's going on in the world of Apple. So any way to get you guys more involved in that process is definitely a good thing in my opinion. So what Social Saturday is an article written by me every Saturday that is based on a Twitter or Facebook question that I think a lot of people want to know the answer to, and that would make a good article. Now, the one this week had a couple different questions in it just because tons of people were asking the same questions and it was all about the iPhone 5, so I just made an iPhone 5 theme. But for the most part, the format's going to be I will highlight one question that seems to be more popular than the rest and on a topic that people are interested in, and I will write an article based on that question. Now, the asker of that question will get a shout out in the article. And to submit your questions to be considered for Social Saturday, you can either tweet me at any time during the week with the hashtag Social Saturday, or on Saturday morning on Facebook, I'll make a post asking you guys for questions and you know, what you want to hear about, and the article will go live later that day. Alright, well that is all the big news for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, the links to all of these stores I talked about in this video are in the description down below. And if you want to chat with me a little bit more, you know, talk about iOS 5, iPhone 5, Social Saturday, or anything else for that matter, definitely feel free to follow me on Twitter at TIPJake. I try to answer everybody that tweets me, so if you have something to say, the best place to do it is there. And for more news, views, reviews, and much more about iOS 5, iPhone 5, and anything else with a 5 at the end of it, definitely head over to todaysiphone.com.